woman in business. At an all-women's conference, what do you mean by that? And what do you hope women stop believing about success?
Well, you guys, since I said some of it during my speech, I'll try to come up with something, even more expounded about that. I do think it's so critical that you do not think of yourself as a woman. We are women, I know that, right? But you cannot walk in the room thinking that you're anything different than the people in that room. And that's what's really critical. And it is intimidating. How many of you have been intimidated by having to go up against men? You raised your hand, you raised your hand, you raised your hands. You guys, it can be intimidating. And people, you hear TED Talks, they say, oh, picture them naked.
Woo!
Well, you might not want to do that either, right? But it just really is about being prepared, going into that room and knowing you know your stuff, right? And if you know your stuff, don't think about them at all. Just be prepared, be ready. And if you're ready, you're strong.
Love that.
Don't think about who's sitting there, it doesn't matter. And a lot of times too, the people that are the most stern and the most scary are the most not fun people, right? They're nobody you'd want to socialize with either. So just think about that. They've got their own problems. They came in with their own baggage that made them creepy and scary and difficult and all of that. Don't even think about them. Just do your goal. Go in there and do your goal.
Love that. And Ms. Laura, you've created more than 1,000 products. Okay, so what's the biggest myth that people believe when coming up with $1 million idea?
I think the biggest myth is that it has to be something revolutionary. It has to be something big, expensive. You have to be Apple. You don't. I'm going to equate to a book. Do you guys know the Gone with the Wind, that novel? So you know it was, at the time, like huge blockbuster. She never wrote another book. One book. But look what it did. Right? So and I showed you the entrepreneurs too. Many of my entrepreneurs just had one great idea.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just need one great idea. How many of you have one? All right. A lot of you.
And with that one great idea, you've seen thousands of pitches on Shark Tank, and you've probably seen millions throughout your whole entire career. What are the 3 things that somebody does in the first 30 seconds that really just grabs your attention?
I look very quickly at one, if someone walks in and they've prepared, they know really quickly, they get out in 2 sentences what that product is, how it works, and why we have to have it. They are enthusiastic. Always be enthusiastic, you guys. Never be dry, never be dull. Be in love with what you do and with what your idea, your product is. And be able to read the room, I know what it is because I know just by looking at a product, I know the attributes, and you guys learned today a lot of what to look for. But I just think a lot of it has to do with that entrepreneur. Who are they? Would I like to work with them? Did they grab me within minutes? Does it fit all the things that I said earlier?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I remember you said you can't be too prepared for a pitch. And you're one of the best pitchers in the whole business. So what would be your secret for an amazing pitch?
I am crazy prepared. So I am, and I'll tell you something else I really believe helps my success. I am meticulous. I am a very meticulous person. Something's off just a little bit, I fix it. So I think that you have to pay attention to every little detail. And so prepare. Make sure things are perfect. And I really think if your pitch, of your top 3 selling features, like I said, know what it is, bam, bam, bam. Top 3 selling features are what you always have to hammer home. You do it again. Make sure your demo is really good and precise.
And when you were in the green room, you were preparing. How do you actually prepare for a speech?
I have note cards, no matter how many hundreds of speeches I've done. I look back through my note cards. I refresh my memory. It becomes robotic, you guys. If any of you ever go on QVC or do anything where you're pitching, prepare, study, read it again, your notes again and again and again, quick, concise things. It becomes robotic. You will just, no matter how nervous you are, no matter what it is, you will just know it because our brains are good and we will remember if you prepare.
Love that. And your first big product was the jewelry organizer, which loved this sketch, by the way. But before it became a success, you were going through a huge financial risk. So take me through the night before and how you were processing that risk and that decision.
Well, first of all, the night before, you should already be ready, right? Like I was so ready. I made sure that my earring organizer was perfect. I was meticulous. I bought all this gorgeous jewelry to put on it. Everything about it looked perfect. And then I practiced, because my first big break, you guys, was going on HSN. In 8 minutes, I was either going to make or break my career for a large part. I had a $300,000 loan, which was very scary, if you can imagine. And in those 8 minutes, if I didn't do well, who's to say it would take me years? I paid back that loan in the first year. So, being prepared, being meticulous, when I went on, I sold out in 6 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's because I was so prepared. So that night before was a lot of just practicing again what I had already done. And I made sure I didn't eat or drink anything bad. Think of everything, you pick your outfit, but protect yourself.
So true.
Protect yourself, because that day means everything.
And on Shark Tank, you're known as the warm-blooded shark. So speaking to a room full of all women, how do you protect your warmth, but also balance that with competence?
I'm a huge believer that they are not exclusive of each other. So how many of you in this room believe that you can be kind, you can be respectful, and still be strong and powerful? And that is a woman's advantage.
Wow.
Right? Because being respectful, being kind, it's very powerful in itself. Who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with someone who's brilliant, strong, confident, but an ass? Or do you want to work with someone who is strong, confident, brilliant, and kind?
Kind.
The answer is easy. So that is what I ascribe to. That's what I believe in. I believe that when you put out good in the world and you pay it forward and you treat people that way, you get it back in spades, right? So to me, those things have to go together. And I guess one of the points you're making though is that how a lot of times women will say, but if I'm not powerful and I'm not kind of a bitch, they won't listen to me, they won't respect me. How many of you believe that? Nobody. Oh God, you girls are good. I love that. But it is true that some women feel they have to be a little bitchy, a little strong. I don't like the word bitchy, but it's what people use.
Yeah.
You don't need to be ever. Know your power, be silent. The biggest thing is that you are firm in your convictions. I really believe that knowing your ethics, are you all very ethical? Right? I think for women, ethics matter a lot. Know your ethics. Be honest, be dependable, be a person you would want to deal with. And that's very powerful in itself. You don't have to be bitchy. Somebody isn't behaving right, somebody isn't doing right. You can calmly, respectfully say, this doesn't work for me. Sorry.
Firm boundaries.
Right. This isn't working for me. Yeah.
And I know we're talking so much about what makes a successful entrepreneur, but you've met thousands of entrepreneurs. So what's something that tells you automatically somebody's not going to reach success?
A can-don't attitude.
Ooh.
Right? Like that for me is, I only like and deal with people that are like, we can make it happen. Yep, that can work. If someone is like, what, this or that. I also don't like people, I think that people that fake it it for me it doesn't work.
You can-
Don't say you know this and this and this when you actually don't. Say, I don't know this and this and this, help me, and I will be the best at this, this, and this.
Love that.
Yeah. It's good, right? It's important.
And for a second, I want to imagine that every woman in the room forgets this entire conference. What's one sentence that you hope that they remember?
You're as good as, if not better, than anyone else. That's the, oh, thank you. You're my heart lady.
So, talking to a room full of women who want to be entrepreneurial and start their own things and achieve their own dreams, do you think that entrepreneurship is born and it's in your DNA, or do you think it's something that you can learn as a skill?
I think it's a little of both.
Okay.
Honestly, I think, and you guys can just, shout out yes or no, but I think that entrepreneurs are kind of type A people. How many of you are type A? Yeah, very driven, very, like you do whatever it takes, you're a risk taker. There are certain traits, but I think that you can learn to be an entrepreneur too, but you have to have that drive, being willing to take risks, having a bit of that type A personality.
Love that. So obviously you're on this stage as Lori Greiner on TV, a massive network, all this wealth. But if I took everything away from you today, how would you start your next billion-dollar idea? And take me through what your next week would look like. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what are the actionable steps?
So, if I were to lose everything today, I would not be happy. I would not be happy, but I would say, you know what, I'll be okay. I will be okay. I will figure out what is the next thing that will make me happy, where I can just do it all again, but maybe a little easier because I've been down the road already. And I would think about what is current today. What are the things? There are timeless things. If I came up with another product like mine, but just made it newer, made it better, did something else. Think about what is needed today that fits everything that I talked about, and I'd just start again. And I'd take whatever job I needed to, and I'd do whatever I needed to get my independence again, and I'd start over. It really has to do with confidence of knowing if everything falls apart, you will not. You will do good. I'm glad you're all nodding. Yes, you will not fall apart. You are you. You will be okay. You will survive because you are smart and you are strong and you will make it happen.
Because you are the business.
Amen.
Hey, everybody give it up for Lori Greiner!